So good morning, everyone. Today we are going to present about our research proposal. But first of all, let me introduce ourselves. We are a group of students from Hospitality School that currently taking research method module. With myself, Evelyn as the group leader, and we have Ms. Xiao Ao, Kan Chiai, and also Sri Rohan. Okay, so for today's presentation, we are going to go through about the introduction of the proposal, the literature review, and also the last part is the research methodology. And here is our research title, The Factors Influencing Young Adults on Hotel Type Selection in Malaysia. So for the introduction, I will pass it for Rohan.
Okay, this is my introduction part. It's all about research background, objectives, questions, gap, and significance. To start with, I will introduce you three backgrounds in a society. The most typical is young people consumption accounts for a significant part of hotel turnover and profitability. However, there are still many uncertain factors affecting young people's choice of hotel, so it has a great social significance. On the other hand, our objective is to explore the factors influencing the young adults' choice of hotels and to accessing the factors that influence young adults on hotel type. Next page. From that, I will describe and explain our research questions. These questions are the core of the studies inquired that will expand outward to enrich the research results. The first is what's the key factors influencing the young adults in hotel selection, and the next is what experience influencing the young adults in hotel selection. Lastly, what is the current trends among the young adults? Next page. Finally, let's see the research gap and significance. First, let's mention the research gap. From the previous study, we find out there are many studies about the factors and criteria, but there are no specifically narrowed to young adults with age range between 18 to 30 in Malaysia. Then I think people may ask, why is research so significant? Let me answer for you in three ways. Above all, it can improve the hotel management method, operating models, and increase guest satisfaction. The second is to identify the attractiveness of the hotels by young adult preference. Last but not least, it can meet the needs and wants of the guests. Okay, my part is over, and then it's my friend Xiao's turn.
Hi, hello. Okay, next page. Okay, yeah, this is my part is about hospitality overview. And under this, we have two topics. First one is what is the hospitality, and second one is the fact about hospitality. Okay, let's back to the what is the hospitality. Yeah, a commercial organization that provides safety and comfortable space for users to rest or sleep for a short time. Yeah, that is what is the hospitality. Okay, next one is the fact about hospitality. It is a very important decision in terms of traveling and living in a geometric place holding a big aspect on the traveling. And nowadays, travelers are dominated by the young adults. Yes, the young adults is from 18 to 13 years old, and fighting the guys, the whole generation when they're traveling. Okay, next page. Yeah, this is the hospitality in Malaysia nowadays. Malaysia hotel industry have two advantages. The development of the hotel industry is inseparable from the demand for room living. For this, Malaysia hotel industry have two advantages. The first one is geographical, and second one is demographical. And for the first one, geographical, the first one is a very important transit situation for the international trade. And the second point is, obviously, is the increasing demand for accommodation. And for the next part is the demographical. And the first one is Malaysia. As we all know, Malaysia well known as the country with a unique culture. So the high social tolerance in the environment with which attract the tourists to come. Yeah. Okay, next page. Yeah, that is the identifying factors. According to our research title, we're going to identifying factors, and as we say, the criteria that we're going to use for our study based on the previous study that we collected. And we have three parts. First one is data. The second one is grouping. The last one is the study result. Let's back to the first data. We drop the factors based on 20 studies that we put research on it. And for the second one, the grouping, the study that we drop is about the selection hotel type that have been done by the previous study. And the last one, from the 20 studies that we went through, we successfully identified around more than 40 factors influencing hotel selection type with different type of guests, traveling purpose, and demographic. Yes, that's my part. Welcome, next one.
And here is the factors identified by us based on the previous study. So this is the top 10 factors that most come out from the study. So it is leading by the room quality, mentioned by the previous study about 10 times, and then continued by the location, continued by the service, security, price, cleanliness, comfort and equipment, value of money, perceived quality, and the last one is the hotel image or the hotel reputation. And here we come to the literature review summary. As in the previous slide, we found out that the top 10 factors for hotel type selection that we're going to use in this study. These factors will influence the guests when selecting the hotel type. And through this study, we will narrow down the scope in demographic terms, which is age 18 to 30, and the country is in Malaysia. By knowing the factors influencing hotel industry can improve how they're going to attract the guests more with fixed and clear theory, according to our research title. And then here we come to the third part of our presentation, which is methodology. I will pass it to Chiai.
What is research design? Research design is a framework or plan in doing the research. It provides technique to organize the research challenges and guarantee that the study process is successful. Descriptive research. So we are more to identify factors rather than doing framework. The purpose in this research is to identifying the factors influencing hotel selection type. An exploratory survey which will conducted using online questionnaire. Next page. We will be using the quantitative method for our research. For survey, entails surveying the large group of individuals using a standardized questionnaire. For data, will be presented in the form of numbers and graph. Raw data will be more crucial. For the advantages of quantitative, we can know that exactly what our study is searching for ahead of time. Next page. We will be using prospective sampling because due to the nature and criteria to select the respondents. Next page. For our research, we have our own demographic that we need to follow in order to achieve the result. The country will be in Malaysia. The age will be between 18 to 30 years old. The occupation may be student, working, self-employed, freelance, housewife, unemployed, employed student. The income level will be RM10 to RM10,000. Next, I will pass it to my friends.
Yeah, so this is the sample of our questionnaire. We will include the demographic, the details of the demographic that based on our title, and also we will include the factors that we find out through the data collection. And I will discuss more about the purpose data and analysis technique. So for the first thing first is the purpose data. The questionnaire that we made is based on the secondary data that we find through the online database, which is articles, and the demographic itself is come from our own title. So we have our own demographic. And for the analysis technique is we use the statistical analysis, which is quantify data, usually more like apply some form of statistical analysis. This data basically includes descriptive data, such as survey data or observational data. So by doing this, the researcher will be able to explain useful information figures such as the regression, correlation, and cross-tabulation. It is also important to analyze the rationale behind the respondents' replies. And from the statistical analysis, we find out that our research is non-parametric descriptive research, which is a completely non-parametric model in which the observations are assumed to be independently identically distributed according to a distribution F, where nothing is specified except potentially some smoothness or symmetry constraints may be preferred. And we come to the end of our presentation. So now I will just conclude some of our material inside the presentation. So for the first thing first is the conclusion is we are going to identify the factors or criteria that influencing or affecting the young adults between 18 to 30 years old in Malaysia when they're selecting the total time for traveling. And then this study provided factors or criteria that guests commonly take in consideration that will narrow down by conducting a survey among young adults that live in Malaysia, thinking the previous study as our main factors and our own demographic. So that's all for our presentation, and thank you for listening. See you next time.
Thank you so much.